The world once had an edge, a place where the sea spilled into darkness, and ships never returned. For most of human history, this wasn't a conspiracy. It was common sense. Long before satellites or spaceflight, people looked at the horizon and believed they understood the shape of reality itself. These were the original flat earthers. Not fools, not rebels, just observers doing the best they could with what they saw. And for a very long time, they were right to trust their eyes. Imagine standing on the shore of the ancient Mediterranean. The sea is calm, the sky is endless. No curve, no bend, just a flat horizon stretching as far as the eye can see. If you lived thousands of years ago, that view would define your entire universe. Across Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Near East, early civilizations imagined the world as a flat disk, land floating on cosmic waters, covered by a solid sky dome. The sun rose from one edge, crossed the heavens, and disappeared beyond the other. This wasn't superstition. It was a worldview built from experience. Farmers watched the sun move in perfect arcs. Sailors saw ships vanish into mist. Travelers walked for weeks and never felt the ground curve beneath their feet. To ancient humans, the earth didn't look round. So why would it be? And for centuries, that belief worked. Empires rose. Cities thrived. Trade routes expanded across land and sea. The flat earth model explained seasons, stars, and survival, until cracks began to form. The challenge didn't come from rebellion. It came from curiosity. In ancient Greece, a new way of thinking emerged. Philosophers weren't just asking what the world was. They were asking why it behaved the way it did. And some of them noticed something unsettling. Travel south, and the stars change. Constellations that once hovered near the horizon rose higher in the sky. Travel far enough north, and others vanished entirely. On a flat world, that shouldn't happen. Then there was the sea. Watch a ship sail away. First the hull disappears, then the mast, then the sail. Not fading into distance, but dropping below the horizon. That detail mattered, because on a flat surface, objects shrink evenly. They don't vanish from the bottom up. This wasn't philosophy anymore. It was evidence, and it forced ancient thinkers to confront an impossible idea. What if the world wasn't shaped the way it appeared? At first, the idea of a spherical Earth sounded absurd. How could people on the bottom not fall off? Why didn't the ocean spill away? What held everything in place? These questions weren't trivial. Accepting a round Earth meant accepting that reality was larger and stranger than anyone had imagined. But one scholar pushed the idea further than anyone else. He didn't rely on myths. He didn't guess. He measured the Earth. In one city, the sun stood directly overhead at noon, casting no shadow at all. In another city, at the same moment, shadows appeared sharp and angled. The difference was subtle but undeniable. By measuring those shadows and calculating the distance between the cities, ancient scholars reached a shocking conclusion. The Earth wasn't just round. It had a measurable size, and the number they calculated was astonishingly accurate. Within a few percent of modern measurements. No telescopes, no satellites, no technology we'd recognize today. Just sticks, shadows, and geometry. In that moment, flat Earth thinking didn't collapse in chaos. It quietly became obsolete. By the time of the Roman Empire, educated people largely accepted a spherical Earth. It appeared in maps, textbooks, astronomical models. Sailors navigated using the stars. Scholars debated planetary motion. The world had become a globe, at least in the minds of those who studied it. But here's the part most people never hear. The flat Earth belief didn't vanish. It faded, and that distinction matters. Because ideas don't die when they're disproven. They die when they're forgotten. Centuries later, as Europe entered the Middle Ages, scientific literacy fractured. Knowledge survived in monasteries, libraries, and distant centers of learning, but it wasn't evenly shared. Contrary to popular myth, medieval scholars did not widely believe the Earth was flat. But among the general population, simplified cosmologies returned, not because ancient science was wrong, but because access to it was limited. Flat Earth thinking didn't re-emerge as science. It resurfaced as a symbol, a reminder of how fragile knowledge can be, and how easily certainty can replace understanding. So why does this matter now? Because the story of the original flat earthers isn't about ignorance. It's about perspective. Ancient people believed the Earth was flat because it matched their lived experience. Then they changed their minds. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for daily posts on history.